Hey guys, what's going on? It is Ash here coming at you today with a really fun deck, and more importantly, we don't just share decks on this channel because they're fun, we share them because they're effective as well, and that is certainly the case with this deck. I've actually never, honest to God, played a deck that has been as fun as this one. You can see the average elixir cost is really low, 2.5, and this type of deck will benefit an attacker who's really smart with these innate, natural decisions when it comes to crunch time, because during the last minute of these matches with this deck, you're going to be going absolutely crazy because all the cards cost so little that a lot of it's just instinctive in terms of playing your cards and countering really quickly, and you can really take advantage of players who might not be as good as that when you're using this deck. So we're going to go ahead and hop into some ladder play right now, and then maybe we'll start a tournament later on in this episode. That way we can give a feel for the deck without having specific card levels not being standardized. So I think during this first match here, you can see I'm being pretty aggressive with the Goblin Barrel. That's the beautiful thing about this deck, is you can be super aggressive with the deck, because basically you always have a defensive option in a pinch because everything is so cheap in the deck. So it can really allow you to set the tempo of the match, and that's a huge upper hand against a lot of people in Clash Royale. So a lot of people get easily flustered when you're trying to take them off their game, and that's something you can really capitalize on using this deck. So in this first match in today's episode, I think I'm just going to talk about the deck in general, and then you guys can watch in the background, and then we'll get into a little bit more play-by-play in the rest of the matches here. So basically the idea with this deck is you're cycling, right? So you're cycling every card. There is no Hog Rider. It's not a Hog cycle deck. It's really a Goblin Barrel and Miner cycle deck. So your Goblin Barrel and your Miner are obviously your two cards in this deck that it can automatically go directly towards your opponent's tower. So taking advantage of those cards by cycling to them using your other inexpensive cards is really key to this deck. Now, as I said, defensively, this deck really has all your bases covered. It has Ice Spirit, that is a great defensive card that can buy you a little extra time, especially against those really powerful cards like a P.E.K.K.A. or a Golem, for example. It can buy you time to cycle to more defensively minded cards, or it can obviously buy you time against a mini P.E.K.K.A. or something attacking your tower at the given moment. But you'd be surprised at how many offensive weapons you can have just off this Miner and Goblin Barrel combination. In the rest of the cards here, you can see I'm getting to the opponent's tower right now, and I'm using the Miner Goblin combination. But guess what? I have all kinds of combinations in this deck. I have Ice Spirit mini P.E.K.K.A. combination, which is absolutely great as well. I have the Princess that can back up any of these cards. I have the Goblin Barrel that I can throw directly at my opponent's towers, or I can switch lanes with to keep my opponent guessing. There's no way that any opponent can stay up with this deck and keep up with this deck when I start playing all these fast cards. Goblin Barrel, Fire Spirits, Ice Spirit. There's a lot to throw at your opponent, and the idea here is that most opponents won't be able to keep up with this onslaught of low hit point, high DPS troops that you have. Even if they have Zap or arrows, their cycle's not going to be fast enough to keep up with your cycle as long as you keep aggressive. You can see in the last minute here, I'm pretty much constantly always playing some sort of a card offensively, and then defensively, as you saw a little bit earlier in this match against a P.E.K.K.A. or something and Prince deck like this, a power deck, it's really not that big of a problem for me. I'm always able to play defense very easily by just intuitively placing these cards, these low-cost cards, and just clogging things up while my tower fires away at whatever they're pushing against me. So let's hop back into general matchmaking. Another level 10, kind of a bummer there. The previous guy actually had the same level cards as I did, but this guy probably not. I still have the tower advantage. We'll go ahead and hop into a tournament after this one, or maybe one more and then a tournament. So this is an interesting starting hand here. What I'm going to do is just wait to see what he does, because I had nothing super aggressive to go after him right off the bat. So what I'm going to do here is put my Miner on his Princess, and then the Fire Spirits almost take down that Ice Wizard. So we're just going to be patient here, and the idea here is, again, just offensively, we're going to keep trickling our troops in, or not trickling, keep pounding our troops in, And you can see here, he's going to counter my first troops with the barbarians. That's fine. I'm going to put my princess down back here. He missed a couple of my goblins in the goblin barrel with his zap there. I know he doesn't have zap up right now. I have my miner on the tower still. The idea here is I always have something on his tower. I'm always causing him to think, what the heck is this guy doing? This guy's coming after me again. And again, it's goblin barrel, goblin combination. He's only going to get one shot off on them. And look at all this damage I'm getting done here. It might not seem like a ton of damage each individual time I hit him with something, but it adds up really quickly. And you can see here, just staying aggressive with this deck really does wonders. So we're going to hold off right now. We're going to play the mini P.E.K.K.A against this miner, and then we're not going to worry too much about this left tower. I'm going to go ahead and put this ice wizard down. Probably bad placement there, but I do allow my mini P.E.K.K.A to get all the way to the princess there. He's going to have to play something to counter my mini P.E.K.K.A here. I have my zap ready. Unfortunately, he plays barbarians in just the right spot there, but I'm already starting to chip away on his left tower. So with the barbarians, I can easily counter them with some fire spirits here. Fire spirits, awesome. Ooh, I was gonna say fire spirits, awesome counter to barbarians, but he had a very nice zap there, so I had to play goblins instead. I'm gonna take down this tower right now with a princess, one shot, and then we are in a pretty comfortable lead at this point. I'm gonna zap his princess after one shot. Now he comes at me with the royal giant there. I actually didn't know he had the royal giant in this deck, so that was actually a surprise for me. See, we've been doing such a good job at setting up the tempo that he hasn't even got the chance to play that royal giant yet. So was able to counter the royal giant. He did a lot of damage to my right tower though, so he might take down my right tower, so I want to kind of stay up on things on the left. Look at this, 3 fire spirits. Ouch, man. 3 fire spirits do something around 450 damage to that tower. That's a lot of damage done if all 3 of them hit your tower. So about 150 damage or so each. That's a lot of damage, and we take down the left tower. That's what I'm talking about there. So fire spirits on the left here. He did not zap them that time. It looks like he's going to get my right tower, but we're not really concerned with that at this point. Maybe he's not going to get my right tower. Either way, it looks like we're going to get his king tower, so that is what I'm talking about. He has a royal giant on my tower. Am I going to be able to 3 crown? Yes. Okay, so 3 crowned him just in the nick of time there before I lost a tower myself. Well played. And you know what, guys? Let's go ahead and just start a tournament here, because I don't want the rest of the episode to all be just happenstance against level 10s or even level 13s. I just kind of want the card levels to be regulated. I probably should have done this at the beginning of the video, but hey, at least you got the idea of the mechanics of the deck, and the guys weren't that far off in terms of level. So let's go ahead and start this tournament right now. Tweet me your highlights. I'm sure this is thrilling for you guys to watch at @Clash_with_Ash. So if you guys don't know by now, I've probably mentioned it in about a dozen videos, but I do start 1,000 gem tournaments every single day at noon Eastern time, and I tweet out the password to those. So if you don't follow me on Twitter, or if you don't have Twitter and you're interested in getting into those tournaments, go ahead and create an account and just follow me and check out those accounts. Check out those tournaments, I should say. So let's go ahead into this tournament here. We're going to have a lot of live viewers this first match, so the pressure will be on, but hopefully I can perform under the pressure. So let's go ahead. He played the elixir. Oh, the mirror elixir collector. Very interesting here. I'm going to go ahead and put a goblin barrel on this elixir collector. You saw me do that the very first match, and then we'll have the miner on the second elixir collector. Now, guys, it's really, really important to attack these elixir collectors, especially if someone gets a 2-0 elixir collector advantage on you. That just can't happen, guys. It's a recipe for disaster. Especially using this deck, you cannot have your opponent have that significant of an elixir advantage over you. And a third elixir collector, this is some kind of like record right now this guy's holding. So we're going to be aggressive still at this point. I don't know what he has, but the mini P.E.K.K.A Ice Spirit, as I mentioned before, is actually a really good combo, because whatever they counter the mini P.E.K.K.A with, so whether it be a goblins or a royal giant, the mini P.E.K.K.A is going to get a couple swings in with that Ice Spirit backing him up before they can counter the mini P.E.K.K.A. So I get to the tower again with a goblin or two here, and my princess continues to just fire away at this tower. I'm going to keep the pressure going with a goblin barrel. Doesn't matter that he has a princess on the board there. If your opponent has a princess in the arena, down on the arena, and you have goblin barrel and you just want to chip away at the tower, go ahead and still play it. The princess will not one-shot goblins at the tournament level standards, so you don't have to worry too much. I mean, the idea here is you're not trying to, obviously it's welcome if you do, but you're not necessarily trying to take down the entire tower with one goblin barrel. The idea here is just to let those goblins get 1 or 2 hits on that tower, and it's going to do, you know, anywhere from 100 to 600 damage, depending on how many of your goblins survive. So, Miner over here, that will take down this tower, hopefully, it does. And then he's playing Sparky, so this should be interesting here. It looks like he's playing a Royal Giant Sparky deck, and he's got the combo he wants here, but you're going to see how I'm going to defend right now. It's going to be basically a barrage of troops, and then I'm going to zap real quickly here and reset this Sparky's ammo. Now, he's getting a bunch of shots in with the Royal Giant, but you can see here, Sparky's dead, and you know what, 2 or 3 shots with the Royal Giant, that wasn't a big deal. This deck is really good at defending. That Goblin Barrel wasn't even that bad of an idea against the Sparky here. I do a lot of damage to the Sparky. I got a couple hits in on that tower, so be aggressive, guys. Even if they play, what is this guy doing with a mirror? It's the mirror Sparky deck he has going, oh, look at this. 2 Sparkies and a Royal Giant. This is really going to test me out here. I'm going to use my Miner right now to distract the Sparkies, and then I'm going to start spamming in Fire Spirit, Ice Spirit, and Zap. And what that's going to do is, again, I'm going to take down this this second Sparky, and the Royal Giant is going to go down too. The Royal Giant, again, got a few hits on my tower there, but you can see those Fire Spirits and those Goblins doing a lot of work there, and we pulled off the W. So that was pretty cool, and a lot of people watching too, so that was fun, and it was actually good showing this deck against the Sparky deck because they're so popular in tournaments right now, and you can see how effective this deck can be when countering a Sparky deck. So again, right off the bat here, this is an aggressive hand. I have the Miner, I have the Fire Spirits, I have Zap. I'm going to use my Zap right here against these minions. We're going to see what he does here. So he might play the Miner if he has a Miner right now, and he does. Okay, he has Miner. So this is the magic spot right here where I put the Ice Spirits. That's going to kill anything in the lane coming at them. Of course, it doesn't kill that one minion. Maybe I should have played it a little bit more towards my tower, but that's basically the area that you want to drop your Fire Spirits or your Ice Spirits. If you get too close to the lane, your opponent's troops will just kill the Fire Spirit or Ice Spirit before it actually spawns, so be careful on that. So actually, a Furnace is a really, really good counter to this deck because I don't have anything besides the Miner and I guess the Mini P.E.K.K.A. with enough hit points to withstand one blow from a Fire Spirit. So certainly a Furnace is something that you want to keep an eye on, so we'll see how we deal with it in this match. So I was going to use the Miner right there, but I think I'm just going to go ahead and take the hit from this one Fire Spirit and then kind of reload at this point. I want to play defense and turn this defense into a nice offensive surge, meaning I want to spam them with these low hit point troops. Now, one of the reasons I probably should have mentioned at the very beginning of today's video is why I love this deck so much, and basically it's because this deck, whether or not this might be your #1 favorite deck in the game, this is definitely one of the best training decks out there. Now, what do I mean by a training deck? Basically, it's a type of deck that can make you better at the game. If you play this deck for maybe 50 matches or so, I guarantee you're going to be a much better player at the game than you were previously. Why is that? Because having so many inexpensive cards really forces you to be Johnny on the spot in terms of defending and countering and playing quickly and knowing how to counter. After playing this deck for a few matches even, you start to really pick up on these really, really powerful defensive combinations that otherwise you might not know about if you're playing a more expensive deck. And honestly, forget defensive combinations, even offensive. Like, there's a lot of experimentation you can do with a Goblin Barrel and Fire Spirits, or a Goblin Barrel and Ice Spirit, or a Goblin Barrel in Goblins. And when you have a Princess backing them up, it makes it really difficult for a lot of opponents, unless they're really, really experienced, to counter a deck like this. It's really good practice, both offensively and defensively, to play a deck like this. Now, I'm going to use a Miner on the right, but I'll tell you what, he's going to take down my tower. Like I said, this deck is really nice for countering my deck, with that Furnace and the Poison especially, but we're going to keep at it here. I think we're going to get this right tower down pretty soon, and then we'll be relatively even in the score. So I'm going to put a Miner on this right tower. We'll see if he tries to counter the Miner or not. I have my Zap ready if so, and I have my Goblin Barrel. So I'm going to Goblin Barrel this tower right now. This should be it. The Goblins should attach. Okay, that's it. So the right tower is down, and we're basically even right now. So I'm going to try to concentrate and see if we can pull off the W here. So we're going to go ahead and Miner the left tower. The thing about the Miner on the left tower there, like I just did, is I still get 3 or 4 hits on that tower, and at the same time, I absorb a couple of those essentially wasted Fire Spirits. They're not totally wasted because I did do a little bit of damage to my Miner, but more so, we'd rather have it hit my Miner than we'd have it hit my tower, obviously. So again, we're going to absorb those blows with the Miner, and you can see he's making a mad face face, because that's not what he wants to have happen here. Let's play goblins against this miner, and then we'll put a Ice Spirit on this mini P.E.K.K.A. Now, an Ice Spirit alone won't be enough to prevent a mini P.E.K.K.A. from getting to your tower, but as long as you do either a zap or any other unit, it will kill the mini P.E.K.K.A. before he gets to your tower. I'm going to zap him, then I'm going to wait at this point. I'm going to play a princess. Just keep cycling the princess with these decks, guys. Make sure you always have her in the back kind of sniping, because it helps a lot, especially against a very fast deck like this that we're going against, so especially against a furnace as well. So we have a pretty decent lead right now. Let's go ahead and put the miner on the left here. Ooh, just missed that princess. Darn. I'm going to zap over here, but I'm still going to have to account for all this stuff coming at me here and the mini P.E.K.K.A. I'm going to put the goblins over here to distract the mini P.E.K.K.A. and then we'll go ahead and put the Ice Spirit right in the center there, try to freeze, and that was a total waste right there. I'm going to zap this princess, but now we got another princess down, and she stays alive. I'm going to put the miner on the princess, and now he has another furnace down. This guy's pretty good, and he's pretty fast. He's really keeping up with my deck very nicely, especially with all these fire spirits and the poison. I'm going to go ahead and Goblin Barrel this left tower right now. My dog is even going nuts at this point, and that was an awful timing on that Goblin Barrel. That was my first big mistake of this match here. We really need to do a better job at getting a miner on these furnaces, so the miner will be on the furnace way in the back there. I'm going to have, okay, my princess will take care of that fire spirit. I can't afford too many more hits onto my tower here, so I'm going to go pretty aggressive here with Goblin Barrel, Princess, Goblins, and the Ice Spirit, so that should be enough to take down his tower. Did he go away? The last 10 seconds here, I have not seen him in the match. Huh. Well, I'll give him the sad face. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe he disconnected. I didn't see an opponent left the match. Maybe he was out of ELIXIR? I don't even know. You guys will have to go back and rewatch that. That was close there towards the end, and we played for a good 5-minute match there. So, wow, that was very fun, actually. And that's what I mean about the most fun deck I've ever played, guys. I don't know what happened at the end there, but that was a lot of fun. I'm going to be super aggressive with this next match here. So, right off the bat, we're going to start out with the Miner and the Goblins. They'll take down that Ice Wizard there, and he plays Barbarians to counter me. So, this is actually a lot more fun. Doing tournament. I'll probably do this from now on when I highlight any deck instead of going into ladder play, because the cards not being equal really is a big disadvantage to showing that type of attacks off. So what I'm going to do here is play the Goblin Barrel, and you can see I played it off to the side a little bit. I never try to play the Goblin Barrel in the same exact location every single time. Try to keep the opponent guessing here. This is good timing here by me. I tried the combination of the Ice Wizard, the Ice Spirit, excuse me, and the mini P.E.K.K.A., and I just happened to catch him while he played the Hog Rider. So the Ice Spirit froze the Hog Rider, and then the mini P.E.K.K.A. took care of him in 2 shots. So that was really awesome. Oh, I didn't even see this mini P.E.K.K.A. over here. He got a hit on my tower. Darn, I didn't even see that mini P.E.K.K.A. He snuck in under the minions there. So let's play a Goblin Barrel, and let's play it right smack dab on the center of his tower here. So that will be good. That's when you get the goblins coming on every single side of the tower, so it has to be a really well-placed zap spell to kill them all, and that was a really well-placed zap spell, but we still got 1 hit in with all of our goblins, and we get an extra hit or 2 in with that archer. So I'm going to Ice Spirit over here. He's going to get a lot of damage done to my tower over here, but I have Ice Spirit, and you can see how long that bought me time-wise, but he's going to get a lot of damage with these barbarians. Well played there, well played. I'm going to put a princess back here, but he gets my tower down. That was actually very poor on my part there. I probably shouldn't have been so aggressive with that zap spell when I tried to save my princess there. Well, I didn't save my princess, but I thought she might be able to get 1 more hit on those barbarians. However, I was drastically wrong there, as she was already locked onto that tower, so that was essentially a wasted zap, and that left me really behind the 8 ball when trying to counter that barbarian hog push. So we're going to Goblin Barrel again on this right tower there. Hopefully we don't lose here. I didn't want to lose this episode. We were going pretty well here, and this will be the last match of the video. So let's go ahead and play defense in the left here, and we're going to ignore those barbarians in the right. We're going to play a miner in the right, try to take down that tower right now, and then we'll go ahead and try to get something going on the left lane here. So he's not countering my miner. That's good. I'm going to play a Goblin Barrel again, staying aggressive here on the left. I'm going to play a princess behind the tower here. Now we have 2 princesses. He's probably going to fireball them. I think he has fireball, right? Or is that the last opponent? I'm already losing track here. This is what happens when I try to record and pay attention to the matches at the same time. So look at those goblins, guys. Look at the goblins do work on that tower. I did a lot of damage off that Goblin Barrel. I'm telling you guys, Goblin Barrel is really OP and underused in the game right now ever since they changed it from 4 elixir to 3 elixir, and not even changing anything about the actual card itself. So it's still a very powerful card, and now it just costs less. So definitely consider using it if you're not right now, or if you haven't in a while. Give it another shot. So Miner on the left should just about do it here, guys. I think 3 hits, 1, 2, 3, and geez, I should have just zapped there, but we'll zap now, which is way too late. At this point, we've all but got this this match won here. Goblin Barrel way too far to the left there. Oops. And let's just go powerful. So we have goblins and fire spirits coming in the middle of the lane. Oh, look at that, guys. Man, that's going to be frustrating for him. He plays down barbarians, and literally they're dead in a split second with 1 shot from the princess and a shot from the fire spirit. So that was awesome. And now it looks like Goblin Barrel should win it here, unless he has a zap perfectly placed. Okay, fireball perfectly placed. He does have fireball. Okay, can I get anything on this tower? Okay, Miner, and is it over? It is over. Okay, there it is. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this deck and have as much fun with it as I have here. Like I said earlier, even if you don't love the cards in the deck, it's certainly a deck that will make you faster and better at defending and countering your opponent the more you play it. So, guys, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and as always, take care, guys.